Happy Halloween and welcome to a Google effect-filled Covering Coven, a show where we discussed last night's episode of American Horror Story Coven. I am your pirate moderator, Perri Nemiroff, and here are our panelists.
Hi, I'm Alexis Saarela.
Hi, I'm Allison Ullrich.
Hi, I'm Megg Hochbaum.
And I'm Sasha Capelli.
In fearful pranks ensue, we find out that it wasn't enough to just roll up Madison's body in a rug and call it a day. The Council of Witchcraft is here, and they want answers, and Myrtle Snow thinks that Spaulding has them. Meanwhile, after getting a Minotaur in the mail, Marie Laveau conjures some old friends to retaliate against the Coven. So the theme of powerful women and mutilated men is undeniable here. So, Meg, what can you tell us about that divide?
Yeah, I was noticing last night that they've really been driving it home. All the women are very powerful, and I think it's probably because it's witches and a coven and you think of women. And most of the main men, excluding the neighbor, which we don't know, there could be something there too, we have Spaulding, the tongueless man who can't talk, and then we have Bastien, the now headless Minotaur with the hooves, who can't really talk, and then Franken boyfriend Kyle, who is stitched together and can't talk very well, and then even to a degree Hank, he might have, defective sperm, and he called himself a monster as well. So we have the powerful woman juxtaposed against these sort of weak men. So I was interested to see exactly where this goes.
There's no way the neighbor is totally normal either. There has to be something wrong with that boy. He is too pretty, nice, and normal.
Exactly.
Totally.
Well, I also thought it was interesting that he does seem to be drawn to Nan, which might hint that she has some other powers. I don't know.
Nan's really stepping it up in this episode, too.
Yeah,
I mean, now that
actually.
Madison's out, the other ones automatically kind of, move up a place in the ranks.
Totally. So, and for Nan to have called the council straight up, just to be to call the three guys who came and were investigating, that's huge. For Nan to be like, I don't hear someone's dead, let's make this happen.
That also opens up the door to the fact that nobody can do anything without Nan knowing. She has to know every single thing. And also she has to be able to read all of these mute men's thoughts, too. So she has to know what happened to Spaulding.
True.
She does. She has to know what happens to Madison as well. I mean, she can read minds. She's got to be able to read Fiona's mind, or because would Fiona not be able
I think Fiona can block her.
Yeah.
Can she block her?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
But it also led me to the question, why does the council not just read everybody's mind? They
Can
need
the council read everyone's mind?
Maybe not. I don't know.
So not only did we get to see Delia's husband last night, but we also got to see a new side of him. Sasha, what do you think is going on there?
Well, I don't know. I feel like now that we've been focusing so much on the witches' interactions with each other and with other voodoo tribes and all that stuff, we haven't really seen any outside world affecting the witches at all, and they kind of mentioned pilgrims and hunting witches in the beginning of the season, but I feel like, I don't know, witch hunter or something. I mean, he had a silencer on his gun when he shot redhead from first season after cheating on his wife, straight up shot her in the head. So with a silencer, it wasn't just a messy shoot. He had a gun, which was all made up to go. So I don't know. It has to. I feel like it should have something to do with the world. So if he was a witch hunter, I would not be surprised.
See, I don't think he's a witch hunter. I think he might just either be a monster, as he said, or possessed. I mean, that scene with him and I think Kaylee was her name, the opening scene with them, I mean, he seemed a little possessed, and that would honestly freak me out. And if he was a witch hunter, I think he would have probably already killed his wife. Since
That
she
poor
was
actress
obviously a
can't
witch.
get away from guns. Didn't she get shot through the eye in season
got shot
1,
through
and
the
now
eye.
she's getting through the head now?
I at first thought that too, because I thought maybe the rituals that him and Delia did in the first couple episodes maybe kind of affected his mortal body or whatever. But then with the gun that was all pretty and ready to be shooting, I don't know, I thought maybe he was an assassin of some sort. And it would make sense if it was witches.
So we're not buying the whole USDA inspector thing.
Oh, no.
Which is the worst cover ever.
I know. It's waste management.
But also, he does have, there's something else going on. I kind of thought, my immediately thought was that he was the devil, especially because he's obsessed with having a baby. So at first, before he shot her, I was like, oh, he's trying to get all these different women pregnant. I don't know. But then maybe he's just a monster.
So now that we've seen the aftermath of the Minotaur attack / odd attraction, we've got to revisit the question of Queenie's alliance. So Allison, where do you think that leaves her?
Well, for now, I think Queenie's going to stay with Fiona in that group, just I think because they took care of her, but I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen in the upcoming, like, the witch war that's going on. She is descendant of Tituba. She is a human voodoo doll, and Fiona earlier on mentioned, oh, the voodoos over there. You went to go see the voodoos when she was talking to Delia. So I'm wondering if throughout this war she's going to change sides and realize that she belongs with the voodoos instead of with Fiona's team.
But that Minotaur really took a toll on her. Like, it looked like, to me at least, she almost died unless Fiona breathed into her. You would think she'd look at that and be like, no, those are the bad guys over there.
She might, or she might. I mean, she did kind of egg the Minotaur on, though, and I don't know if she's going to realize that. I mean, she's the one who did go after it. Yeah.
I also wasn't sure. Maybe she'll be the key to bring them together. Maybe she'll be the link between both groups. Yeah.
They need that, too. I have a feeling that at some point in this season, both sides are going to have to work together to team up and defeat some sort of other evil. Which could be her husband, if he is the devil. You never know. Because that's really the only supernatural segment missing in this whole war.
Right. Well, and then that also leads me to my biggest WTF moment, which was when Cordelia was attacked with the acid in the end. And who did that? Is that a third party that's coming into play in this? Like, is that another, or is that someone that we've seen already? I don't know.
Was Marie Laveau mixing something, though, at some point? Or did I make that up? Like, towards the end, after she conjured the zombies, was she ever making something? I might have just made that up.
I don't know. Honestly, my first thought of who it was standing in a row because they wanted to cover themselves, and so they don't want anyone to see who it is yet. But my first thought, for whatever reason, was the neighbor. So maybe she really is the witch hunter in some kind of way.
That could be a winner.
Maybe he's a witch hunter, yeah.
So another episode of American Horror Story, another episode loaded with unforgettable quotes. This week I am going with a little gem from Queenie that is very necessary to repeat. Madison Montgomery is a stone-cold bitch who loves hard drinking, big dicks, and trouble. If she's dead, it's probably because she got wasted and offered the Grim Reaper a hand job or something. When you have such an outrageous show like this, you just need characters like Queenie to make sure you keep everything in perspective. Alexis, what do you have for us in terms of quotes?
Oh my gosh, well, I love Marie this whole episode. She is so badass, and when her associate was saying, we don't want to start this war again. There was blood in the streets last time, and she was like, yeah, I used their blood to paint my day room, which was just awesome.
Oh, so typical. So now we wrap up this episode with our rapid fire segment, the portion of the show where we anticipate what's to come. It's kind of tough to choose between the two major events that happened towards the tail end of the episode, but thanks to the previews, I am absolutely desperate to know what is going to happen to Cordelia's poor face. Boy, did that character need something interesting to happen to her, and this is definitely going to be it. I've got my fingers crossed she ends up with that monstrous Frankenstein look I was hoping Evan Peters would have. But, Sarah Paulson's a pretty lady. You never know what they're going to do with that. Sasha, what are you looking forward to?
Oh man, I mean, this episode was chock full of a good amount of rituals for me, so I think I'm getting my ritual fill. But I am so excited to see. I actually loved Delia and Zoe's interaction in this whole episode, so I'm really stoked to see Fiona's reaction to Delia's getting attacked. I think she's gonna go ape crap and just beat. Find out all the secrets of what is happening around town to her coven, because she and the Supreme. Now we still we were asked 3 or 4 times in this episode who the Supreme might be. Obviously, it's not Madison, so we can all go back to maybe thinking Zoe was the Supreme, but I'm still not sold on it. I don't know. I don't know.
Alexis, what do you got for us?
I am excited to see what happens with Myrtle, Frances Conroy's character, and the other 2 witches. It's so fun to see these other witches, especially Quentin, of course. Yes. He was great. And maybe I hope we might meet more witches, too. It sounded like the council was bigger Also, I would like to see Spalding maybe get a haircut, take care of himself a little more. Just because he doesn't have a tongue doesn't mean he can't look nice.
I prefer a manicure.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
right.
playing with dolls and has Madison's body up there. I don't think the first thing on his mind is getting a haircut.
That's true.
Exactly, yeah.
So besides his haircut, Allison, what are you hoping for?
I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Fiona. She seemed a bit weak after like saving Queenie and killing the Minotaur. Or is the Minotaur actually dead? But that's a whole other topic. Because he blinked when he was in the box. It's crazy to me. But I want to see what this war is going to take on her, if it's going to make her weaker, because there is a Supreme out there, and her powers are getting zapped, so I just want to see how long she's going to last. I mean, is Fiona going to be around for the whole season, or is she going to eventually wither away?
Meg, what you got?
Zombies. I mean, that was awesome, and it was perfect for Halloween, and it's not over, so it's carrying into next week. I cannot wait to see what they do with the zombies. They had the daughters come to the door and freak everybody out, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'll be bold enough to say it. I like these zombies on FX better than A&E zombies.
Wow.
Just saying.
Does
They were really
care,
good.
Does anyone here care what is going to happen to Evan Peters? He's kind of just out there.
He's out there. It kind of bummed me out that it was like a throwaway like it was just like he's not doing well as a reanimated corpse. So let's try and kill him. Oh, he's gone. So, I mean, I felt like there was a couple moments in the episode where they just, like, touched on these things with the men, Evan Peters and Delia's husband. So I really hope we see Evan Peters just kind of go out and have all his Frankenstein moments with the real world. So that'll be cool.
So that's it for this week. Be sure to watch American Horror Story next week and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shock to You Drop, and join our discussion the day after the episode airs. We are doing this all season long, so definitely stick with us. Also, please comment or post your own video responses because we definitely want to know what you think about the episodes too. Thanks for joining us. To leave you with a Halloween quote from the show, I think Halloween gives people the permission to be who they really are. Go be who you are, have a happy Halloween, and see you next time.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!